Hey everyone, Scott Hansen here from NFL Red Zone, and you're watching the Super Fantasy Bros podcast. 1 hour of commercial-free podcasting starts now. Enjoy the show.
We are live.
Welcome back to the Super Fantasy Bros podcast. The countdown continues as we are now only 35 days away from the start of the NFL season. And even 5 weeks.
Starts tonight.
Let's go.
But as I was alluding to, it does start tonight. Officially back with the Hall of Fame game kicking off between the Jaguars and the Raiders. That will be entertaining for about 45 seconds. And we are also back to our normal schedule as well for podcast. We were here on Tuesday instead of Monday this week, but back here on Thursday. We will be doing Mondays and Thursdays moving forward, at least until the start of the season. And today we will be wrapping up the division series. Finally, last two teams, Chiefs and the Broncos. Let's get right into the Broncos, boys.
Wait, there should be like an over-under game on how many times tonight Deshaun Watson's name is brought up during that football game, like a drinking game.
Probably
Every time it'd be fucked up.
I don't know. Maybe they'll avoid it.
No way.
Probably.
It's not fun to talk
think
about.
so.
We'll see. We shall
There's
see.
no correlation to either of those teams.
Yeah.
In AFC teams. He's in the AFC.
Got the Super Bowl bad blood in that matchup. Dougie P and Josh McDaniels. Q just cheesed real quick. He said,
I pressed the wrong button.
The hell happened?
all right. Let's get into this here. The Broncos finally have a quarterback that is worth something since Peyton Manning. Russell Wilson comes.
Brock.
Please
Stop.
You loved Brock for no reason. He sucked.
Brock
Lobster. Russell Wilson comes over from Seattle, as we all know, and still finds himself with a pretty solid wide receiver group here in Denver. Where are you ranking Russ for this season, and would he have been higher or lower if he was still in Seattle?
Where do I have Russ?
Currently have him at 10. I think they let Russ cook. Even though there was Broncos last year were they were one of the top rushing teams. That's because they didn't have a quarterback that was good enough to throw the ball. But I think his talent matches up evenly almost to what he had in Seattle. As far as where I'd rank him in Seattle, probably be similar.
Yeah. I have him at 11. He'd probably still be right around there in Seattle. Because Seattle was a run-first team too, and he just made do with what he had.
Yeah. I have him at 10. So I'm in the same boat. I really wouldn't have moved him much higher in Seattle. I do like that wide receiver duo a bit better, but
I like it better.
in general,
You
Russ
just like
is still gonna
DK
be
better.
just fine.
DK,
You know how you feel about Tyler Lockett.
he sucks.
Whoa, he does not suck.
All right. Well, he's not the goddamn Justin Herbert of wide receivers.
I heard someone call
Might
Pete
be.
Carroll Peach Cobbler.
Oh,
Somehow it just sounds similar. So that's his name now. And he's always chomping.
Yeah, he is. He is always chomping.
Chewing hard as shit on that gum.
Yep. The Broncos have two wide receivers that we were just hinting at, but consensus seems to be pretty split on these guys. Of these two guys, who do you prefer drafting right now? Judy is currently being drafted only 2 spots ahead of Sutton. Judy's going wide receiver 24, 64 overall. Sutton is wide receiver 26, 66th overall. Which one do you prefer on your teams this year?
I prefer Sutton,
He's-
and I feel like you
Easily
guys.
Sutton.
Oh, all right, never mind. I thought you guys were going to argue for Judy.
No.
No.
I just
I
like
think we're all
Sutton.
team Sutton.
Yeah,
I think-
Judy's only full year. Go ahead, you guys. I don't want
No. I was just gonna say, like, I like the type of receiver Sutton is, like the big body,
Oh,
go
yeah.
up and get
Yeah.
it. Like that's the
Uh-huh.
Yeah,
juicy.
Judy's like the big
like a
play.
Mike Will.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But-
Judy's going to be a lot over the middle in this offense and coming out of the slot a bit. And Russell Wilson historically has not really thrown it over the middle or to the slot. He typically stays on the outsides. Cortland Sutton's going to do all his work and damage on the outsides. Give me Cortland Sutton this year. I have Sutton at 24 in my ranks. I have Judy at 32.
I don't even hate it.
I'm just not in on Judy this year.
Me either. And the only full year he played was his rookie season, and he finished wide receiver 47. Sutton finished, I believe, like wide receiver 17 in 2020.
Yeah. We've seen Sutton do it before. I do think Judy has good talent, but I think Sutton just matches up a bit better with Russ's preferences. So give me Sutton.
Agreed. He'll be the DK.
Yep. Although we could have KJ Hamler as wide receiver 3. Tim Patrick went down with a torn ACL. We hope he is able to come back next season at full strength. But does this open an opportunity for KJ Hamler to have any value here as the wide receiver 3, or is he someone you're not really interested in targeting?
Definitely
Someone
not interested.
I would take a late round flyer on him, maybe like last 2 rounds of the draft. There's definitely going to be an opportunity for him because we saw Tim Patrick get opportunity last year, but then again, the other receivers were also hurt. So, but I mean,
He's gonna be like the Freddie Swain / Ricardo Lockett, like the random guy that'll have those 2 touchdown games because it's not the main guy. But I don't think he's gonna be much relevant. And I hope what's his name, Lil Kev's not in the chat because he might jump off a bridge.
That's all I could think of when you guys are saying all these things.
Yeah, he is not in the chat, it appears, but if he was, I know he would be screaming from the rooftops for KJ Hamler. He did say he would finish top 30 earlier today. So
yeah,
that's insane.
First he said top 25, and then he said, nah, top 30.
He's not finishing top 45.
He might finish top
Probably
40 at best. That would be at best. And that's if he takes on that Lockett role and like stays on the outside and catches deep passes. But I just can't see that coming. What a wild Matt stat appears. Either way.
You should ask for his take on KJ.
You would have said he sucks.
Either way, I'm taking him as a late round flyer at best. Not someone I'm heavily in on. All right, let's do some cap or no cap for the Broncos. First one, Javonte Williams is being underdrafted at RB12, 21st overall. Cap or no cap?
I think he's being overdrafted.
Me too.
Ooh.
I have him at 13. I think right there around like 12 to the 15 range is fair. I wouldn't put him any higher than 12 though.
I'm not buying into the 7.
Go ahead.
Where you have him?
I have him at 10. So
yeah,
I believe he's
insane.
I don't think he's being underdrafted. I think that's fair where he's being drafted.
I don't believe the news that came out about like a 70-30 split with Melv. Last year with Melv, he only had 4 games where he finished with under 50% of the snaps. And I don't think much has changed. I was high on him. Again, if you asked me like a month ago, I would have had him around 10, but I just think Smelly Melv is here to stay. I think he's on a contract year, so they might run him to the ground.
I mean, didn't they just give Melv like a 1-year extra deal, or is he was still under? No, he was a free agent, right? And they took a while to sign him.
Yeah,
so,
I think so.
Yeah, at this point, I think Melv is becoming the backup. I think they know what they have in Javonte Williams. Like the Q said, the report says Williams should be getting a 70-30 split rather than the 50-50 even split they were getting last year. So I think Melvin Gordon's still going to be involved and could possibly have games where he does get more snaps than Javonte Williams, but I'm all in on Javonte. I think drafting him RB12 is
we know that.
There's a period last year where like they were both scoring every game no matter what, at least once.
Yeah. It was definitely a run first team, and I think Russell Wilson opens up more opportunities for both of them. So we shall see. Speaking of Melvin Gordon, cap or no cap, he will still be a decent RB2 in this offense.
Cap. Even though I was a little high on him, I still don't think like
how are you going to shoot yourself in the foot? Right
no. He's going to affect Javonte Williams, but he's not going to have much value where I'm going to put him in my lineup and be confident. But he's just going to be affecting Javonte Williams like a little cancer.
I agree.
He's one of the cuffs you're going to try and steal.
No, I can probably get him without stealing.
I'm going to say cap too. I don't think he's an RB2 anymore. I think
me either.
At best he's a bye-week fill and flex, or a good handcuff to have if you have Javonte Williams.
He would be a good handcuff though.
But you don't want him?
No, I take it back. I was just thinking he's not my top 5 radar.
All right. Well, Melvin Gordon is going to be involved, but not as involved as last year. Fingers crossed for Javonte Williams owners. All right, last cap or no cap. Greg Dulcich and Albert O should be late round flyers at best, and neither will finish as a top 12 tight end. Cap or no cap?
No cap.
No cap. What?
I'm surprised Q said no cap.
There was that quick little Albert O phase, but and I have him. I'm not really. I don't like this Greg Dulcich. I feel like it's Dulcich, but that's why I don't like the name. It just sounds worse.
I have no idea how to pronounce it.
Either way, if Schultz was here, you would know.
They're both better than Noah Fant.
It's possible.
Hopefully.
Yeah, I'm not targeting either one of them. Alberto, it seems in training camp, the reports are that he is losing the starting gig, and they're kind of sharing first team reps. And either way, Russell Wilson historically has not thrown the tight end that much either.
What's Alberto's last name?
I can't pronounce it. Not even
Unga
gonna try.
bunga.
He's Alberto.
Any Unga Bunga.
Unga bunga wam.
Do not know how to say it. Out of pocket.
Over the top to Unga bunga wam.
Matt's losing it. All right, let's do some bold takes. Favorite targets. We're skipping the Q and Matt because they're cracking up. T-Gods, you go first.
All right. My favorite target is Cortland Sutton, as we were talking about. So back in 2019, we saw him finish as the wide receiver 19 with 72 receptions, over 1,100 yards, and 6 touchdowns. And that was with 3 different quarterbacks. It was with Joe Flacco for 8 games, Drew Lock for 5 games, and Brandon Allen for 3. I don't even know who Brandon Allen is. I don't remember him.
Backup.
He was bad.
Well, not for Judy, not for Sutton, because Sutton still went off. But like Judy could finish over him. Like we don't really know like fully what Judy is yet, but like I know how Sutton is. Like I like Sutton. He's an exciting receiver to watch. Just big body, goes up and gets it. Like I just enjoy him. We saw what he could do, and I don't think wide receiver 19 is his ceiling. Like I think he could easily finish over that, especially with Russ now. Like, hey, Pop.
He said, hey.
Sweet. But yeah, I don't know. I really like Sutton, and he's being drafted after Judy. Like, give me Sutton all day.
Yeah, that's weird.
Yep. We're all on the Sutton train here for sure. Matt, what do you got?
I'm going to be bold, and I'm going to say Judy and Sutton both finished top 25. No real reasoning behind it. I mean, we've seen Sutton have a top 25 season. Like I said earlier, he finished 17. I feel like we haven't really seen Judy's full potential, being injured, playing with Drew Lock and all these horrible other quarterbacks. So, I mean, I think like with a competent quarterback like Russell Wilson and possibly them trying to balance the offense out a bit more with Russ being there, I think they both definitely have a legit shot at finishing top 25.
Definitely see it happening. They're both being drafted basically as the 25th wide receiver, so makes sense they could both squeak in there. Q, what do you got?
I'm going to go with the quarterback targeting Russell Wilson. Before last season, he had an injury. He hadn't had a finish outside of the top 10 since 2012. I think the talent's basically even with a better coach who we've seen him be successful with Aaron Rodgers because that's where he came from. And also, I want to follow the narrative of these quarterbacks that are going to new teams like Brady. His first year in Tampa finished QB7 and Stafford finished QB5 last year with his new team. So Russ is right up there with him. I think he'll finish top 10 for sure.
Love to see it. Should be definitely a force to be reckoned with here. I will wrap
country.
Let's try.
Let's ride. All right. I'll finish this up here. Not a shocker. My bold take is going to be about Javonte Williams.
No way.
I have him ranked at 10. I'm going to say he's going to finish top 8. Don't want to go too far because I still want to see how the split works out. But Javonte Williams has all the talent. We saw him last year once he started getting more than 50% of the snaps, really start to pick up in his play. Broncos as a whole improved while he was playing well as well. And when he got even more than that, he only had one game with 70% of the snaps last year. He had 23 carries for 102 yards, 6 catches for 76 yards, and a touchdown. 29 fantasy points. Give Javonte Williams the work. He will put up the numbers. He will put up the yards. He will feast. Give me him this year, top 8 running back.
I do want all parts of Javonte this year, if I'm being honest.
We've covered 32 teams, and Sean has about 20 running backs in his top 8.
Debatable. I'll have to go back and look.
You probably have 20 receivers in your top 10.
All right. That's piping.
I was waiting for you to say top 5 because I know you've at least had 5 top 5 running backs in your takes.
Probably said Swift in there. Definitely Mixon. We'll see. All right.
Someone check the tapes.
We'll have to go back. I'll go through the documents. All right. Chiefs Kansas
go.
City. I'm the only one
Boring.
repping.
He's
Patrick
preying
Mahomes.
on their downfall.
He has been preying on their downfall. He was somewhat correct last year, a little bit of a decline as expected after coming from so many high seasons in a row. But let's start with QB1, Patrick Mahomes, back for another season here. But he is going to be without his top weapon on the outside, Tyreek Hill, who has been replaced with a few guys we will talk about in a few seconds. But now that Mahomes is really no longer the unanimous number one quarterback in rankings, where do you have him ranked, and are you confident in him being top 5 again?
I have him at
2,
3.
3.
3.
Yeah,
I'm
but
still beyond
like,
confident that he's going to be top 5.
why?
But he won't be top 3. He hasn't
Because
been top 3 since his rookie year.
It's very
He'll
true.
be top 5. He still has Travis Kelce there. That's a safety blanket. I mean, Juju obviously is no Tyreek Hill, but I think he's capable of making those plays downfield for him. They got Sky Moore, the rookie. They added Ronald Jones into the backfield, still have Clyde. So this offense did take a step backwards, but I don't think it's like as drastic a step backwards as people are making it out to be.
They lost like the biggest deep threat in the league.
Yes.
Right.
Like, not
think
just
that's-
any. He's not just any like Jarv got traded. Like it's Tyreek Hill.
You cannot compare apples to oranges, bro.
I'm saying like you can't just say like, oh yeah, they lost Tyreek. Like they lost Tyreek. Like
Top
he's not
3.
like
I mentioned what they added as well.
yeah, but it's
Ronald Jones.
not Rojo, Sky
Fine.
Moore. You
I do
can't compare
think-
apples to oranges, Matt.
Do think losing Tyreek Hill was a big loss. I have him at 2 as well, Matt. So I'm still in on Mahomes being an elite quarterback. I'm a believer in the talent. And I do believe with he may have lost Tyreek Hill, but I do think this is one of the most sound wide receiver rooms he's had in terms of like across the board compared to what he had when it was Tyreek Hill. His number 2 was always Demarcus Robinson, Byron Pringle, Mecole Hardman. Mecole Hardman falls to
Josh
wide receiver
Gordon.
4 on this depth chart.
Depth chart.
With Juju and MVS is going to try and play that Tyreek Hill role. He's not going to succeed, but he's probably going to catch 5 to 6 long touchdowns this season on unpredictable games where you're not going to be able to figure it out. Either way, Mahomes has been QB for each of the last 2 seasons, and I think there's no reason why he's going to take a step back aside from Tyreek leaving. I think they added more weapons here. I think Andy Reid offense is still going to be churning. They're going to be a pass-heavy offense, pass-first offense. He's always near the top of the league in pass attempts. As long as Mahomes is healthy, I'm taking him as a top 2 quarterback.
Well, I'm just saying I have Mahomes at 3, and I plan on moving him down.
Oh, down.
I do.
Who you
Down
putting
below
over
who?
him?
I don't know yet.
Jalen Hurts is finishing over him this year. No
Wow,
bias
that's
intended.
Huge
He has
bias and
everything that
spicy.
Mahomes is missing.
Let's shake on it.
Shake on what?
$5.
You're just hoping that
On Hurts
is
finishing-
booty.
Over Mahomes.
Yeah.
No, I just don't think Hurts is capable of that yet.
If he doesn't finish top 5, the Eagles are probably going to release him. So he's finished top 5.
I don't think they're
Release
looking
him.
there about his fantasy.
Or trade him.
You were in top 5. You're gone.
No time.
Yeah, you were QB 6. You stink.
As long as he's over Mahomes.
We
He could
shall
be.
See. He could be.
I don't hate
Could
that.
be.
I'm not as confident this year in Mahomes as I have been in years past. I unanimously had him at number 1 for the last probably 3 or 4 years, but I'm still confident that he is going to be an elite quarterback this year. I'm not worried about it. I'm a believer in the talent. We've seen Tom Brady go from different wide receiver groups and still put up numbers. Mahomes is going to put up numbers, so he'll be
That's
fine.
different. Brady's
Is
a
it?
goat.
He is the GOAT. I'm not saying Mahomes is the GOAT, but he's one of the best quarterbacks in the league. He'll be fine with whoever's out there catching passes.
We'll
All
see.
right. This running back room for the Chiefs has a new look this season a bit. Clyde Edwards-Helaire still exists, but they did add Ronald Jones, rookie Isaiah Pacheco, and Jerick McKinnon is healthy again. Is there any value to be had here with any of these running backs?
Hell no.
I think this is
avoiding
just a
all
big
of them.
headache.
And they're not even that good.
They're
I
all
was
mid.
kind of, yeah, they're all very mid. I was kind of hoping that maybe Ronald Jones would kind of become the guy. But 2 weeks ago, there was a report that came out that said he's not even a lock to make the roster.
Jesus.
Damn.
So
Give
basically
Isaiah
because
the touches.
he struggled in pass protection and catching passes out of the backfield. So that hurts him a lot. And he has no value in terms of being on special teams, which McKinnon and Pacheco do. So Ronald Jones still has to prove his worth. We shall see with this whole backfield, but I think it's more of a headache than something I want to own, although there will be value here. It's just a matter of who and when. And it's not going to be pretty either way.
Mm-mm.
All right. Travis Kelce finally dethroned last season. He was tight end number 2. This is the first time he was not number 1 since 2015.
That's insane. Wait, since that's how long it's been, he's been number 1 every year.
Yes.
That was
Yeah.
Kelce. Yes,
He's a
Kelce
menace.
Where was Gronk?
Not number 1, clearly.
How?
Kelce
Because
was number
Kelsey
1
was.
in 2016, 17, 18, 19, and 20.
Never knew that.
Menace.
And then he was number 2 in 21. 2015, he was 9. So that's probably the last time Gronk was like number 1. I can fact check that right now.
It doesn't matter right now.
It was Gronk was number 1 in 14 and 15, and he was number 2 in 17 behind Kelce. So either way, Kelsey's still elite. He finished number 2.
Still
with
number
Tyreek gone. Should he be the unanimous number 1 again?
Yes. Sir, yes, sir.
I don't have him
See?
ranked at 1, but I probably will be wrong, and I honestly wouldn't be surprised if he's number 1.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if he's number 1 either. I do have Andrews over him just because they also lost pretty much every viable pass catcher on that offense. I think Andrews and Kelce are going to be a tier above everyone else by a lot. Like I think it's still going to be just those two.
And Pitts.
I think Pitts is going to be good, but I still think he's going to be a tier below those two. Like Andrews and Kelce are going to be on another level just because they are going to be the sole focus on both of their offenses by far compared to any other tight end. And Pitts may be the sole focus, but catching passes from Marcus Mariota compared to Lamar Jackson and Patrick Mahomes, a little bit different. But either way, I have him at 2, but it's more of a 1A, 1B situation for me. Those two guys, happily taking them early. How early would you take either of them?
Early 3rd.
Yeah.
Not taking a tight end in the 1st or 2nd. Sorry.
You're gonna have
Maybe
to
late
though.
2nd. Yeah, if you want them, you have to get them in the 2nd.
I'll be fine with Kittle late 3rd.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I'm usually one that doesn't reach on tight end. I did on Kelce. Was that last year? 2 years ago?
2 years ago.
Yeah.
It didn't work out. So
No.
we'll see.
It rarely does.
All right, let's move on to some cap or no cap. First one, with Tyreek Hill gone, Juju Smith-Schuster should be a lock for a top 30 wide receiver. Cap or no cap?
No cap.
No
I'll say
cap.
no
Top
cap.
30. Yeah. Especially if you
cap.
guys are saying Mahomes about to be like still
Right,
like top
number
2.
He is.
Yes, I'm saying no cap for sure.
Juju's gonna have to be like top 5.
I'm all in on Juju.
Stop.
No,
He
I'm
does
not
not have to be
stopping.
top 5.
Not stopping. He has to be. He has to be
Lamar
like
was number 1, and I don't think he had a receiver in
Okay.
the top 10.
That's different.
you can't compare apples to oranges, Matt.
They're both quarterbacks.
Okay, one can run
One's a
like
running back.
crazy and the other one can't.
It's because of Jackson.
All right, next one here. Marquez Valdez-Scantling is being slept on at his ADP of wide receiver 53, 132nd overall. Cap or no cap?
Cap.
Cap.
He's a mid-tier receiver. Like he's not
Yeah.
like
I'm sleeping.
yeah.
Yeah, I would
Y'all
say
can
cap
have him
as well.
Oh,
He's a solid wide receiver 5 that is a bye week fill-in. That's pretty much what he is. And you're hoping when you've put him in, Mahomes throws a bomb.
All right.
It's just a prayer, essentially. Next one, Sky Moore should be considered this team's true number 3 option and will finish as a top 50 wide receiver minimum. Cap or no cap?
No cap on the number
Cap.
3 option. But top 50 is like a stretch.
Yeah. Top 50 is tough.
Ask
Although,
me that around like week 4.
Yeah. You obviously want to see more with a rookie. It's very hard to predict. But like Matt said with the Chargers, I do kind of want any piece of this offense. Maybe not Marquez Valdez-Scantling because you know he's going to be boom or bust. But Sky Moore could easily develop and even overtake that number 2 role here.
If you have to go all the way to wide receiver 50, then you might as well just not even like talk about that because you're stretching. You might as well say wide receiver 60. Is he going to finish
Oh, no,
wide receiver 60? Well, who
he's
cares?
definitely
You're probably not
gonna
going
be
to start him
60.
anyway.
Yeah.
Rager over him?
No, not over
receiver
anybody.
150.
Not
Rager
Apparently
literally the lowest receiver ever.
rather take Jay Jaws
Last.
at tight end than him at receiver.
I'd rather have Mac Hollins.
In my wide receiver rankings, I have 110 wide receivers ranked. 110 is T.Y. Hilton, who's a free agent. 109 is Jalen Rager. So
All
Oh my
right.
god.
I would put T.Y. over him.
Yeah,
Just
I might
upside.
too.
Just more upside.
if he doesn't get picked up, we'll probably have more fantasy points. So all right, let's do some bold takes and favorite targets for the Chiefs. T-Gods,
Okay.
what do you got?
I know my take is bold. I know it's bold. I know you guys aren't going to agree with it. But, like, you guys low-key just, like, made a point for me. So I'm going to say that Mahomes finishes outside of the top 5. But you guys literally just said you don't know if MVS is going to finish above where he's being drafted at wide receiver 53. And you don't know if Sky Moore is going to finish inside the top 50. So you're relying on Juju and Kelsey to have Mahomes finish inside the top, like, 2, which is what you guys were saying, where you have him ranked. Like, that's not possible. There needs to be something else. There needs to really. If
Maybe.
all of that
If Juju
goes to
puts up
Juju,
like a Tyreek Hill season, yeah. He's
No
good.
way
that's
he
not
does
gonna
that.
happen. He's not. No.
He was wide receiver 8 before. He had 111 yards
With
1,400
AB there.
111 catches, 1,400 yards, and 7 touchdowns.
Okay, but
He can
he's
do it.
not.
He's
He's
capable.
not Reek.
Best QB he's ever had in his career.
That's true.
That's right.
That is true. I'm not arguing that, but like there needs to be more here, and there's not. Juju is not Tyreek. Defenses are going to be all over Kelsey. I don't think he's going to like improve from last year. He should, you would hope, but like Reek is not there. They're going to be focusing on Kelsey, and Juju is not Tyreek. And like there's guys that like I truly think could finish over him. Like I know Josh Allen will, Jay Herbo will, Brady will. And then Mahomes finished 4 last year. That's only 2 more people to finish over him. And like
Burrow and Hurts.
Burrow could, Hurts could,
And Hurts.
Stafford, Lamar,
Wilson.
Kyler. Like
A lot
there's
of guys out there.
there's a lot of
Kirk.
guys out there with better offenses than this. Like I don't think Mahomes should finish inside the top 5. And if he does, then you guys need to pipe up MVS and Sky Moore and like anyone else they have. Like you guys need to pray Josh Gordon comes back and like is good. Like it doesn't seem realistic to have just Juju and Kelsey carry Mahomes to a top 3, top 2 season. Like it's not realistic. It's just a name.
I respect it. I respect the take. I'll go next. Juju finishes top 20.
God.
That's my bold take. If Juju's finishing inside the top 20 and Kelsey's finishing as a top 2 tight end again, and then last year with whatever their third wide receiver option was no better than wide receiver 50, and Mahomes finished at 4. I do think there is room for more growth, obviously, for wide receivers to be spread the ball around with Tyreek Hill out there now. Without Tyreek Hill now, I think Juju's going to get the majority of those targets, but I think some of those targets are going to be spread out more to guys like Sky Moore, who have that potential to blow up in this offense. He's a rookie. We don't know. It's hard to predict saying where he's going to finish, but he could easily move into that top 40, even top 30 range on this offense with Mahomes at quarterback. So not 100% sure, but I'm locking in Juju as a top 20 wide receiver.
I'm about to just say
This
that
season.
Michael Pittman's going to finish over him to piss you off. I mean, that
Finish
Juju's
over
going
who?
to finish. That Juju's going to finish over Pittman
He's not going to finish over Pittman's
just
top
to make
20.
you angry. I'm going to find a case for it.
All right, find the case. Either way, I like both this year. Give me Juju and Pittman, please. Q, you're up.
T-Gods, I do agree with your take, but I feel like my take of neither running back finishing in the top 25 kind of goes against that, because I just think that these running backs are just going to be a carousel and they're not going to be relied on much. So Mahomes is going to be throwing the ball like crazy. But I mean, at the same time, you could have 0 success or little success with that. So I do agree that he's going to finish outside the top 5. I can see that. But I also agree that these are saying that these running backs, Clyde, Rojo, Poncho, Isaiah, whatever,
Poncho.
they're none of them are finishing this inside the top 25 either. We saw Clyde take a big dip. They haven't had anyone good since Kareem. So
Yeah, Clyde sucks.
Clyde
He
sucks.
does.
Not a big fan of the
What?
running backs either.
How was he so hyped up his rookie year?
I
that he
drafted
went
him.
in the first round.
I drafted
in
him
so many
at 8.
leagues.
I think he went first round in the NFL draft.
They said
and
the
he went
Chiefs
for
have
the
a running
Chiefs
back.
offense.
They
So-
saw Kareem.
Come
The Chiefs
on.
were so good. You had to expect somebody to do something. We saw Kareem be a beast there.
Yeah.
Clyde is just not built like that.
And look,
Nah.
Kareem's a backup
Kareem
now and
wasn't
still
going
better
in
than
the
Clyde
first
as a
round.
starter.
There
Mhm.
he is. Kareem was going first round.
Was he?
I took him first
His
round.
rookie year?
No,
I was about to say.
it's like second year.
Yeah.
But like that, basically, people were hoping that he could be that Kareem. All right, Matt.
Gotcha.
What's your bold take?
Bold
So we can
take.
do some trivia.
Helping Patrick Mahomes finish top 5. Travis Kelce is going to have over 1,500 receiving yards this year. Put
That's
a
a lot.
stamp on it. It is a lot. The most he's ever had was like just over 1,400, and that was 2020, I believe.
Yep.
So without Tyreek there, that's a lot of vacant targets, most of them going to Travis Kelce. What is 100 more yards for him to break the 1,500 mark? I mean, he's going to get fed. Obviously, Juju's going to get his, Sky Moore, all the other guys there. But the focal point of this offense is going to be ran through Travis Kelce. 1,500 yards. Let me add in over 12
God.
touchdowns as well.
Best season ever for a tight end, possibly.
Yep.
Incoming.
Retire on that.
Put a stamp on it.
We shall see. Chiefs should be fun to watch either way this season.
Chiefs finishing third. I wish I liked the Broncos
Second.
enough to put them over the Chiefs, but I can't.
Chiefs second. Chargers first.
Yeah.
Broncos third. Raiders doo-doo fourth.
No,
Not
Still
doo-doo.
with like
good
still with like
doo-doo.
8 wins. They're gonna be like 8 and 9. All right.
Yeah.
Let's do some trivia. If anyone has any questions in the chat, feel free to drop them below. We will answer them at the end. But we are going to do some trivia first. Q, what do you got for us today on the slate?
AFC West trivia. Somehow. I wasn't even planning on it, but we did it. All right. Is everyone ready?
Hold on, my pen's not working. Okay, I'm good.
All right. So it's actually, sorry. The last 2 Denver tight ends to finish top 10 were who?
What's that dude's name?
There's a couple years apart, but there have been 2. And then there's been a lot of ugly ones.
I know one for sure.
Yeah.
Cannot think of another one.
Let me
I
get
gotta
this.
think.
Broncos.
Do we have years?
Uh,
You don't have to.
no.
All
No
right.
years.
I would say there's a 5 or 6 year span.
In between them.
Yes.
Gotta go deep in my memory bank.
There's no way that will finish top 10.
Please tell me you're not thinking of Jake Butt. This is a tough one, Q. I have
this
one.
is.
I think we all have the same one.
Yeah, you have to.
That dude was a baller.
So good.
Oh my God. Who was before him?
What if it was after though?
It could be, but I don't think it was that recent. Was
Okay,
it?
I'm writing it.
I don't even know who it was. I don't even know who you're thinking.
I
of.
got 30 seconds.
Holy crapola. 30 seconds. I got
All right. It's only been a minute. I was going to give it 130, but I'll give it 2. So you got a minute, 52 seconds left.
There's no way it's
Bless.
the second bowl that I wrote. Thank you. But
I
Bless.
can't think of
Literally
any
can't
tight
think
ends
of
from this
anybody.
team.
Bro, I
As soon as
can't
Q's-
think of the you guys like, oh,
You
obviously
know,
it's this
you played
guy.
with Peyton.
when you hear his name,
I
you're
know
gonna
I'm gonna be like,
pissed.
oh yeah, duh.
This second bowl, no idea. I'm
No
completely in the
idea.
dark.
There is 17 seconds.
All right, I'm writing this bowl.
Jake, but
You all have an answer?
I have 2.
I don't even
Yeah.
care. Just speak it.
All right. So the older one was JT, Julius Thomas.
I
Got
knew
that
it was
one.
a fucking Thomas, dude.
The other one was Noah Fant.
I got that one too.
All right, I got one then. I got one. I'm just.
All right, I'm writing this bowl.
Uh,
All right, I'm writing this bowl.
All right, I got one then. I got one. I'm just. Wrote
I
Noah
was-
Fant.
I was worried that you guys would have thought maybe I said not counting or like the last time since Noah Fan, but there's been some ugly guys in between that or during that.
Noah Fant
I was
is
like, there's
ugly.
no way Noah.
I didn't
Fant
know
finished
Noah
top
Fant
10.
finished top 10.
He
But I was
finished
like,
Wasn't it
at the
his rookie year?
at the buzzer, I was like, oh yeah, they had Noah Fant. I was
In
like,
2020,
maybe
he
was top
finished
10.
number 9. Last year, he finished number 9 also.
Any mid-ass tight end.
That's pretty good for a guy that most of us hate. All right,
Really?
second
Number
question.
9?
Unless Fantasy Pros is lying. But next question
Number
here.
8 in 2020. Okay, go
Next
ahead.
question, Sean. So similar type question, but for the Chiefs. Who were the last top 20 running backs for the Chiefs? And their top seasons were about 3 years apart.
So 2 running backs.
The last 2 running backs that finished top 20 for the Chiefs, not counting Clyde Edwards-Helaire.
Okay.
That would have been bad if I didn't say that.
I feel like there's always one obvious answer, and then the next one's like you got to think hard as shit.
I know. This other one's hard to think about. Who was on that team? I don't even know.
The year was
Okay.
2016. I'll give you the year. I don't know how much that'll help, but
2016.
Who the fuck was on the Chiefs, bro?
Dude, it feels like that was like yesterday, but it was so
It was
long
so
ago.
long ago.
We were
It was
literally
6
just looking
years
at
ago.
old draft boards and I don't even know who was on them. 6 years ago.
I don't even know if he was on those draft boards that you sent. Well, I don't think you said 2016.
He wasn't in the 2018 one, probably.
Let me
I
see
was
how long
looking at
this guy played.
2016. Bro, I can't think of anyone that played for this team.
There's no way it could be that guy. Could it be? I'm writing it.
He played till 2019.
Oh, then never mind. Can't be that guy.
So he had to have been on one of those draft boards. Maybe not.
What? Why can't I think of who this is? I should know this. This should be easy. I know who the quarterback was.
Well, yeah.
And I'm thinking about that offense, but I can't think of who was in the backfield.
He finished RB
Wide receiver
17
one was elite.
that year.
I don't know that year.
It was AB that year.
I had him.
No, the wide receiver one for the Chiefs was elite. He was my
Dwayne
guy.
Bowe.
No. It was Jeremy Maclin.
Oh my God. What? He was wide receiver 1?
No,
Or a
I'm not
wide
saying he
receiver
was wide receiver one. He was their wide receiver one.
Oh.
The fuck played with Macklin?
20 seconds.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying.
And
I can't
Alex
think of who it
Smith.
was. Exactly. Can't think of who was on that.
Who was
offense.
Fuck.
Oh my
I
god!
don't know. I don't
It's
even
gonna make
care.
me it's gonna
10
make me
seconds.
so mad when I hear this name.
Probably.
It's gonna make me so
Yeah, I'm gonna
angry,
be pissed.
dude.
All right. I'll just end it now. 4 seconds.
Okay, go ahead.
All right. So it was Kareem Hunt, obviously.
Oh my God. Wait, no, never mind. Wait, maybe.
What?
What?
You got
Nothing. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Did
Did
not
you
put
write it?
No, I didn't write. Go ahead.
And Spencer Ware.
Spencer
Ware. Okay, I would have never said that in
No
a
way.
million years.
Never in a million.
Would you have
Never in
said
a million.
Sharkandrick West?
Maybe
No.
Chark.
That was a couple years before. I don't think
Maybe
he was top
Chark. I remember him.
Spencer
I remember Spencer Ware too, but that was
Wow.
any bowl. That's deep in the memory
2-time
banks.
Super Bowl champion. All right.
Spencer Ware. Oh my
Right,
god.
I'll
What a
take a
name.
point.
Next question. Also division related. So since this record was broken in 2013, which team has the most touchdowns in a season? And your hint is they're in this division. So if this team in 2013 broke the record and still holds the record for the most touchdowns in a season, I saw 2 numbers. One was 76 and one was 103, but regardless, they're still the top team.
Easy. End it.
You all have an
End the
answer?
timer. I got it.
No.
I have mine.
Oh,
It was in 2013.
Mhm.
All right.
You're done?
Yes, sir.
All right. It was Denver Broncos.
Layup. That's when Peyton threw like 55 touchdowns.
yeah.
Wow.
It was actually Brock.
Matt, what'd you write?
Chiefs. I thought Jamal Charles was just going crazy.
Oh, I should have wrote Jamal Charles.
That's when I went, oh.
That's who I was thinking, but he said 2016, and I was like, he stopped playing in 2019, and I was like, Jamal Charles was out the league.
Sadly.
Yeah, sadly.
All right. So I told you I was going to fix this question for the next trivia, but this is going to be one of these guys are not like the other. So I picked all these wide receivers that played 16 games. So it's even, they played the same amount of games. Which of these did not finish last year with 100 fantasy points and PPR? So I was right. So the wide receivers were Brian Edwards, Tim Patrick, Jalen Guyton, and Byron Pringle. One of these receivers did not finish the season with at least 100 fantasy points. All NFC West receivers.
Wow, that's tough.
You said Brian Edwards, Byron Pringle,
Jalen Guyton, and Tim Patrick.
It's got to be that full.
Who was the one guy again? Edwards, Guyton, Patrick, and who?
Pringle.
Pringle.
I know he's not on the Chiefs anymore, but he was.
Pretty confident in my answer.
All right.
100
I got
fantasy
mine.
points is a lot.
I got mine.
No,
No, it's not.
Yeah.
It was Jalen Guyton.
Yes, sir.
Son of a bitch.
97 points.
I wrote Guyton.
I wrote Edwards.
What did Edwards have?
I thought Edwards was too obvious.
Edwards had like just over. He had like 102.
I went Pringle.
Maybe 113. I don't know. There was a gap between 97 and the next
I
one.
was going to
We
go
knew
Guyton,
Tim
but I was
Patrick
like,
was too
she
good.
loves Guyton. So that's probably why he threw his name in there.
Tim Patrick was like good last year, so I knew it couldn't have been
Right.
him.
Yeah. He was
good until I played him.
immediately eliminated.
Sean, I think you were the same way. When you put him in your lineup, that's when he stunk.
Yeah.
All right. So here's a
Yeah. Tim Patrick had
I'll just-
156 points.
all right.
He cleared.
Next question. Which of these running backs did not play all 17 games last year? So this is another AFC West. We have Melv, Javante, Darrell Williams, and Sony Michel.
Did not play 17
One of them
games.
did not play 17 games last year. And let me check that because
Like
that's
all like have a snap in them.
if you looked up their thing,
They were missing a game.
yeah. And actually, it would be 16 games because they have a bye week. So, which one hasn't played
It was
16
Darrell,
games?
Sony,
Javante and Melv. One of them did not play all 16.
I got my answer.
Answers?
No, I have mine.
Answers?
I just wrote any. I don't.
Yeah, me too.
It was Melvin Gordon. He
Yes,
missed
sir.
one game.
I think that was the game Javante went off that I just gave those stats for.
Well, and here's the last question. Yeah, I threw this one in.
Bonus question.
Which wide receiver is being drafted higher in dynasty drafts right now? Mike Williams or Jerry Jeudy?
It's a very tough question.
Q's trying to fuck with us.
Oh, that's a tough question.
Do you want to be an ageist or do you want to be a realist?
I wrote my answer.
I wrote my answer.
Me too.
This is
It
bugs.
was Mike Williams.
Yeah.
Sir. I wrote Mike Will made it.
That's all I got.
I was balling out today.
There were some good questions, Q. Sean got like every single point except for
I missed
Spencer
them all
Ware.
except Spencer Ware. Fuck him. All right, we got a trade question in the chat. A league is vetoing a trade, but he finds it to be completely nonsensical. 10-man league, half
Let's hear
PPR. Let's wait for him to let us know who's in the trade. He's trading Justin Herbert, AJ Brown, and Brees Hall for CMC.
Oh my
I
God.
would immediately veto that.
Immediate veto.
Immediately. Sorry.
All right. First of all, I don't believe in vetoes. If whatever you want to do is what you want to do, unless you have someone that is a complete problem
What?
in your
Look
league
what
with
it
bad
says.
trades.
They think he's not giving up enough.
You're not giving up enough for CMC? Is this dynasty?
It doesn't matter what it is.
Yeah, no, you're giving up I would say you're giving up too much for CMC.
Way too much. Way too much.
I might give up just AJ Brown and Brees.
That has to be like a joke. There's no way that this
It's
is
in
serious.
redraft. Like, yes, I see CMC is the best player in the trade, but you're giving up your entire team for him essentially. Like,
He played like
QB1, wide receiver
For the
one,
riskiest
and
bull.
an
riskiest
RB2.
bull. He played like 13 of the last like 33 games or something like that.
Wait,
Keep
I think
your
they're
team.
I think they're vetoing him giving that up to get CMC.
No, they're saying he's not giving up enough.
What the hell?
I don't know
That's
what the
wild.
salary cap. I don't know how to work the salary cap thing, but don't in no league, in no format do you do that trade.
I wouldn't even do that trade.
Yeah, I would
I
keep
would
Herbert,
not want
AJ Brown, and
CMC
Brees
that
Hall.
bad.
I wouldn't even want CMC that bad, to be honest.
3 safe
That's
players.
crazy.
Yeah. Tough loss on your end if you really needed
No,
CMC that
consider
bad. But
that
I think
They
it's a
saved
win
your
for you.
ass.
Your season's over
They
if you
saved
do that trade. And
Yeah,
season hasn't even
CMC
started.
gets hurt, your season would be over in a heartbeat. And there's a decent chance he may get hurt again. Although we hope he's okay and healthy for the season. All right. I don't see any other questions in the chat. Good luck, Josue Nolan.
Sway.
Whatever your username is. All right, that is a wrap for the AFC West.
Bunga
and
bunga
that
wham.
is a
Bro, I
full
was
wrap
just thinking about that.
on our division series. We have now gone through every single team individually, which means we will be back next week with our rankings episodes. On Monday, we will be doing our quarterback rankings episode. So make sure you are here next week. No problem, my guy in the chat. If you ever have any questions, feel free to slide through. We're also on Instagram and Twitter, as I'm trying to say right now. Make sure you follow us on our social medias. If you are here when we're live, turn on notifications, follow us. We also put all of our episodes on YouTube, so throw us a sub there. All the audio versions, Spotify, Apple Music, we're everywhere. Just look up Super Fantasy Bros Podcast. You can even just go into Google and type it. Most of them should be our podcast. So take a look. See you guys on Monday. Peace.